Gentlemen.
So you were able to get off from your hectic schedule, huh?
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way: since you've got a business and Paul's been involved and I've been consulting for years, I had 53 billable hours last week.
Wow.
And this week is over 50 also. Retirement is just grand. I'm not going to complain. Actually, no, I've never really stopped. I mean, just because I retired from the Anchorage Fire Department, I've never really stopped doing stuff. So, like this project is working in support of the Virginia Department of Emergency Management. And to be real blunt about it, and I'll just put it this way, John, I've spent the last 25 years of my life basically figuring out how to do bad things to good people and then help the good people figure out how to save themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but I've been heavily involved in domestic terrorism and stuff like that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Was that in conjunction with your firefighting days?
Yeah, I ran hazmat teams and I ran a national hazmat program for the International Association of Fire Chiefs. And I taught my first, I hesitate to say, counterterrorism, anti-terrorism class back in 1997.
Huh.
And I've been doing that sort of thing for that long.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
I'm just a drummer, dude. I'm just a drummer.
I don't think so. Maybe that's your CIA undercover thing, you know? He's a drummer.
Well, I used to drive by CIA, and when you drive, this is not a joke, actually. When you drive by CIA over in McLean, Virginia, close to McLean, you can almost count on your cell phone signal going gone. It sucked everything out of your brain.
Well, where we live in Utah right now, we've got a big, huge NSA facility just down south of us here, and everybody says that, yeah, you know, they're listening to everything. Hi, Cindy and John.
Hi there. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Cindy. Glad you helped John get on this.
I couldn't live without her, John.
My second job is IT.
Well,
my question is, does Cindy drive trucks also?
No, he doesn't let me touch that.
No.
Well, you're a very lucky guy, John Dye.
Well, you know, there is a definite separation between this computer and my truck, believe me. So.
Hey, John Ganguza, how are you?
Hey. How are you
Hello,
doing?
John. Hello, Paul. Hello, Tom.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys. I don't know how many others are going to be joining us. Gary Hodgers indicated that he had actually an orchestra rehearsal they had to go to tonight. And, you know, we'll just see who shows up. Spike, you were on a little early. So I saw you joined about a half an hour ago. Sorry to make you wait, buddy. And you're muted. You have to unmute, Spike. Unmute yourself.
Here we go.
There you go. Good.
Can we have Spike mute himself again, please? Sorry, couldn't resist.
Spike, you've come a long way since the first time we tried to get you on, and you know your tape was over your camera and everything. You've come a long way.
It's just a going enterprise here.
Teaching old dogs new tricks. That's what we're all about here.
Well, it may be a small group this evening, but that's okay. It'll be fun for a while anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we won't go as late as you guys went last time, Tom. It looked like you had some defectors at the end of that meeting.
well, yeah, and we should have had defectors. I think I told you that I actually slipped and took a fall, and so I didn't get back on. I mean, and I hurt myself a bit actually. So compression socks on tile floors don't necessarily make a winning combination.
That's true.
So
Well, Doug Lynn is here.
I can't stay long, but I'm here.
Oh, we could
Doug.
start. Doug's here now.
see you, Doug. Bye.
Oh,
Hey,
Comic tonight.
you guys remember last time I was mentioning the Coast Guard band?
Yes, sir.
I went and saw them, and if you ever get a chance to do it, go see them. It's a terrific band. They put on a heck of a show.
where are they stationed, out of the DC area or where?
No,
They are a command band, but they're not in DC. They're at the Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
And it,
probably Paul
It is a-
Mayer. Paul Mayer's probably seen them more than anybody else around. I'm going to guess.
it's a command quality band, even though they're not in DC, but they put on a terrific show. And this
I
was
heard
their
that.
first.
I heard the Coast Guard has only one band, and that's the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think they have more than one band, just the one band out of New London, and they go to Washington on occasion.
Well, that's a crackerjack band. It really is.
So it looks like we got Joe. Is that Joe Arioso? Yes. Okay, there, Joe. Oh, he's not connected yet. And Ray's trying to connect and he's muted. Oh, it's Cottarelli.
Yeah.
Oh, Cottarelli. Hey.
Joe Critian.
Euclidean.
Oh, Critian. Oh, boy.
That's right. You're a bugler. He's a drummer. Don't worry about it.
No, no.
Oh, be nice now. Be nice.
There he is. Hey, Ray.
And he's a trombone player. Shame on him.
Good morning. What are we talking about? Are we picking on trombone players?
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I
I just
guess.
ran into some pirates and got into a sword match, you know?
I know. I got a picture to show the guys. The one
Yeah,
you
it's looking
shared.
better. It's looking better though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I go down Monday to get the sutures taken out so I can shave again. That'll be a delight. How's everybody?
So,
We're good.
Ray, what did you do?
Ray,
What did I
you
do?
Did you piss off Samra?
Yeah, she used the brass knuckles on me. You know, nobody's perfect. Gosh, look at you guys. Doug Lynn, I mean, I feel like we're blood brothers now, man.
Yeah.
That was a fun little repartee we had.
Yeah, we had a good one. I kept pointing out it's a drum and bugle corps, not a bugle and drum corps.
And that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I think I said, you know, all you guys know how to do is flam tap, and that's your cadence. And
Ooh. Well, and there's a reason you play trombone, so you could, like, you know, have 85 tries to find the right note.
well, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Precisely, here to there, here to there.
Well, yeah, it's like I have a favorite cartoon that's showing Winnie the Pooh and Piglet walking, holding hands, and Piglet says, Pooh, does anybody know where, does anybody know where fifth position is? And whatever, the bear says, only God knows. And Piglet says, I thought so. It's out there somewhere. We're like a violin, you know, you have to lock it in, like you don't have frets or valves. So
I love it though when they watch these guys playing, and they've always got their finger out there on the end of the bell for kind of finding that position.
well, you're supposed to get over that about 7th grade, but there are some that even
Well,
some
actually-
jazz players do that a little bit.
Yeah,
They're
I
doing
noticed.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got Roy
That's
Perez on, I think. Right, Roy?
What?
Roy Perez. He's on, but I can't hear him.
Paras.
Perez.
Oh, I thought it was Roy Rogers, maybe.
Oh, Yeah, it's signed Dale.
Happy trails to.
I can't find my picture.
That's Gene Autry.
I'm recording
That
all
was
this.
just
so,
happy trails.
Oh, keep it clean.
yeah. All right.
I'm gonna
I
try.
understand, Ray, from the last time I watched the entire recording again of the last meeting, that you have an early bedtime. So we have to make sure we end in time, right?
Oh, come on. I'm not that old. I'm not gonna be 78 for another 4 or 5 months. So, you know,
Okay.
I can usually stay up till, well, is Johnny Carson still on the late show or something?
Oh,
Your mentation is perfect.
I thought it was Jack Parr, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true too. What was the other guys? What was the guy before him?
Steve Allen.
Steve
Steve
Allen.
Allen.
no. Alan, yeah.
With his fabulous partner, Jane Meadows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is scary, really scary.
Yeah, John Dye, you're too young for all that, aren't you?
I'm probably maybe one of the younger ones of the group, that's for sure.
He can probably remember Letterman though, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my dad watching Johnny Carson and yeah, but John, I saw on Facebook where you made a comment on my new flag. And you said that maybe I can step out there and play taps.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Paul Mayer, I might be able to do that. He had an extra trumpet and sent it to me. And so I've been trying to get proficient at it enough to not embarrass myself, but that could very well happen. I have visions of stepping out on the deck on Memorial Day and playing taps in the evening, maybe. But it is a real awakening. It is a real awakening. I'm amazed at how bad a shape an embouchure can get in 50 years. So
Yeah, but you're going from baritone to trumpet. That's a big adjustment.
yeah, it is pretty tough. Yeah, but you know, after 50 years, I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. I can goof up both of them.
Hey, John, so make sure that you have Cindy record it.
Yeah. Yeah, we want
Oh, I
to.
will.
Please.
I will. Certainly.
Oh, absolutely. Please do that.
Yeah, okay.
Bob,
We'll see how it comes out, whether I pass it on or not. Yeah.
No, there would never be anything to be ashamed or embarrassed about, believe me.
it's
Okay.
the effort. That's very cool. Hey, Bob Zarfas, thanks for
Hey,
joining.
guys. Yep, a
Hey,
little late.
Bob.
Hello,
Hi,
Bob.
Roy.
Late.
Good
Thought
to
you were on the road tonight.
Didn't hear that, Tom.
I said, I thought you were on the road tonight.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, okay.
Yeah.
If he won't tell you, I will. I believe he's gonna, is it your grandson or granddaughter getting married this
Yeah.
weekend?
Well, yeah, grandson.
He's getting married?
Yeah. Actually, he's getting remarried. He got married last year at this time, but because of COVID, he lives in Connecticut. No one could come. So now they're redoing the ceremony and having the reception and everything this year, a year later.
Oh,
See, that's interesting. I've got a nephew. I'm going to south part of Denver, down in Littleton, for his reenactment of the crime for the same reason. All the family was supposed to get together and COVID hit, and so now in late May, be going up there for his reenactment. And ironically, it's also going to be his daughter's birthday. First birthday.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Bob, you're going to be a great grandfather?
Oh, I've got 4 great grandkids.
Oh, you already do. Oh.
Yeah, this isn't one of mine. This is my nephew.
Oh, Bob Zarfas, are you a great grandfather yet?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, you're a young.
I'm old enough to qualify.
Oh, well, let me make you feel better about yourself. I got 6 grandkids and 1 great grandkid.
Oh my gosh, Tom. Wow. All right. Well, hey guys, I don't know who else is going to be able to join us, so I I went through the video last time, and I kind of noticed that it got cut short because of your time that you guys were all involved, and I had some other things that maybe we could talk about. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, though, Ray Foster, is I heard you mention that your wife was Turkish.
Right.
How did you meet your wife? Is she here?
Oh, it's a long circuitous story, but she was from Ankara. She went to the oh, I can't. It's the best university in Turkey. Got her undergraduate, and she and her husband a year later went to uh, uh, Norway. I'm trying to think of the name of the town, and he got his degree there. She also got her. No, because they had a baby, so she couldn't. And then they went from there to UCLA, where he had a job. He's into these plate tectonics and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And then they came here because he got a better offer, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know the details on that. Maybe they got pissed off at him or something. But yeah, she came in. I was managing the music store here in town after I'd closed mine up in Garden City, and she came in to rent a horn for her son for beginning band. And of course, he had to get a trombone. And I promise I did not know that at the time. The directors tried him out, and that was his choice. So okay, so she comes into the store, and one of the other guys, one of my minions, was waiting on her and taking care of her, and she just had to fill out the credit app or whatever you call it, and then she left, and she was going to come back the next day to pick it up, and I told Chad, I said, no, that's my customer. But then I got to thinking, here I was, gosh, what was I then? 51 or 2, something like that at the time. And I got to thinking, okay, she's got a 10-year-old son. And I when I first hit town, of course, I was frequenting the college bars and stuff, and I finally figured, Ray, that ship has sailed years ago. What the hell are you doing? But then I started figuring out, okay, 10 years old, and so she's at least I don't know. I was thinking she's way too young for me. Whatever. I was figuring she may be 28, 29. I said, that's below my threshold. Gotta be at least 40. And so she came back in, we got the horn taken care of, and I was like a junior high kid. I mean, there were some vibes going on, but I was like a junior high kid trying to make that phone call to Susie likes you, you need to call her. And you're like, and so I finally did call her up because I had her phone number on the credit app, and I called her, and she was like, what did I miss a payment? Well, what's I said, no. I said, this is very unprofessional, but would you like to get together for a cup of coffee? I'm gonna get through this just as fast as I can. We're almost there.
This is fun though.
So we were at the what was the name of that? It was a place right behind the music store. Anyway, it closed down. I don't remember what the name of it was, but so we said, okay, 9 o'clock. And I think it was a Sunday morning, maybe. And so I went in at 9 o'clock, and she wasn't there. And I sat there for a while, and I said, oh, well, and I got up and walked around. There were only 3 tables that were anybody at. So came back, sat down. I said, okay, give me a cup of coffee. Then I was sitting where I could see the door, and I finally got a second cup of coffee, and now it's like 9:25, and I'm figuring, WTF, what's going on here? So I just walked over to the store and called her and said, what's going on? You didn't show up. And she said, no, I was there. You didn't show up. I said, I was sitting right by the door. She said, yeah, I was too. And I said, and finally I said, oh, okay. Daylight savings time. We call that our anniversary because we can always remember. I've been with her 23 years now.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, you said you had traveled to Europe. That's why I wondered, because you brought it up on the video.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed going to Turkey, spending time in Istanbul and Ankara and Izmir and all Gallipoli,
Yeah, you were talking about
Ephesus and Troy. We were thinking about doing it. I don't think I can. I'm not stable enough physically. We all know I'm not. But I'm kind of getting used to the creature comforts here at home.
Yeah,
Although we are going to go to Cabo. We've already figured that out.
there you go.
Yeah. We went to Costa Rica. That was our first one. We went to on the Pacific side. But anyway, yeah, it's been a hoot.
Well, I thank you for sharing that with us.
Can I get a clarification?
Yeah,
Can I get a clarification, Ray?
On what?
Well, on your story about your wife being from Turkey.
Yeah.
Did she come? Didn't you say she had a husband when she came over?
She did. See, that was the beginning irony. That's what really struck up the conversation, is that she was coming off a divorce and I was coming off a divorce.
Okay, I sort of missed that part. So
Yeah. I left that little insignificant detail out. Sorry.
Fair.
And here I thought he just robbed the cradle.
Yeah. She's 9 years younger, and she's still, she's on faculty here at OSU, Oklahoma State. And summers are great because she's around, but boy, I tell you, the days get long when she's teaching. I mean, mornings between my garden and flowers and piddling around doing this and that, I'm fine, but boy, those afternoons get long and you can't sleep all afternoon,
Well, hey, guys, can you see that? Because you guys, and thanks, Ray, for sharing. You guys in the past said that it was all blurry and hard to read. Can you read that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I put together some things to kind of, I don't know, give us some talking points, if you will. I don't know if this group needs them, but maybe, we can talk about a few things. And this is one I wanted to mention because this is Bob shared this. Zorfas shared his picture of his home in PA with me. But
Wow.
Bob, this is how it looked like you said you spent your winter. And
Yeah, having a lovely bride.
Yeah, having Pat do I don't know, how does that work, Bob?
I can't stop her from doing stuff, but I do shovel the snow. But
Okay.
Oh yeah, prove that.
Who said, "Oh yeah"? Tom, was that you? Yeah.
Yeah, I said, oh yeah, prove that.
That was not this winter though. This was a couple winters ago. but just to show you that we get snow in Pennsylvania.
Well, anyway, I wanted to share that with the guys because later on you'll see a few other pictures of Bob. But I ran across this, and you guys might relate to this about how the young kids some do summer break and others. This is how they spend their summers, and you guys working right alongside of them, some of you. So. I wanted to also follow up on this because Bob, on the last video, you told us that you had a story about Tony Lombardo, and you said maybe someday you'll let us know. So I wondered if you could share that story with us tonight.
Okay. Yeah, lots of stories about Tony. When I got to the Corps, they put Rod Berg, who was another snare drummer. He and I arrived the same day. And they put us in a room with Tony, and Tony seemed like he was a man and we were boys, as it turned out, Tony wasn't that many more years older than we, but he was the drum major and he was just a really cool guy. And he sort of took us under his wing, but Tony was always really, really sharp. You went out for a gig and he was perfect. And we had stopped in the Azores on the way to Europe and went into this mess hall, and we were supposed to play a performance there in the Azores. And so we're dressed kind of like this, and we're eating spaghetti, and this piece of spaghetti fell on Tony's uniform. And there, like 4, 5, 6 of us sitting at the table, and we're laughing, and Tony just ignored the whole thing like it never happened. And we're like, geez, this is pretty bizarre. And then he picked up his glass of milk, and those old pressed glass, like pressed wood, pressed plastic glasses. And he drinks a glass of milk, and he lets the milk just kind of roll down his chin, and it rolled down his uniform. And we're just really hysterical. So finally we get up and we leave, and we go outside, and a couple of us are talking about Tony and saying, you wouldn't believe Tony. He's in there and his uniform is a mess. And just at that time, Tony walks up and he looks at us and he reaches in his pocket and he says, pulls out his wallet. He says, does anybody want a piece of cake? And he opens his wallet and he had stuffed a piece of cake in his wallet. It was just hysterical, just hysterical. So out of character for Tony, just over the edge.
I like that.
And sadly, Tony got out and he left the Corps and went to one of the bands in the Midwest. And I wish I could tell you the name, but it was one of the bigger Air Force bands in the Midwest. On his way to his retirement party, he had a massive heart attack and died. He was 39.
Oh,
Terrible story, but a really good guy.
he kind
Only
of
the good die young.
he looks like he could have been a Hollywood kind of leading actor or something.
Yeah. The other thing was when we lived with Tony, and we're just in from basic training and 18 years old, and Tony's probably 22 at the time, and he would get in his car and he would go into DC and go out with women, and we were still afraid to date girls. And he'd come home, he'd come back at 2 or 3 in the morning smiling and laughing, and we'd go, oh my God, oh my God. Different world.
All right.
This picture, he reminds me a lot of Jim Putnam in the face.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
I would agree.
Well, I think this guy right over here looks like Richie. Richie Bellevue, right there.
Except Richie was way shorter and thinner.
Yeah.
If you go over to the next row, from the guy you just circled it from, that's Mazzio on the end as a tenor drummer, and then go over to his left. This is Bob McGee from Spokane, Washington, and then right behind him, that's me, second snare drummer.
That's you.
The one the next one.
Forward.
Come front. Yeah, right there.
That's you, Bob.
That's me. Yeah.
Well, you were a young whippersnapper, weren't you, right there?
It's 1955. I was 19, man.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Okay, Ray, here's your story. Here's your story. Tell us about your cancer.
Oh, it's just something I've had for a long time. I didn't know what the hell it was. And Simmer finally kind of insisted, and I went down to my local doctor and he did a biopsy on it because he said, no, that doesn't look good. How long you had it? And I said, I don't know, a month, 3 years, I don't know, something like that. And so he took a biopsy of it and determined, and he was able to identify it as a basal cell, thank goodness. And then he referred me down to Oklahoma City for the Collier Skin Cancer Center, where they do the Mohs procedure. And went down there. It was a long sit in the chair, and I was glad I didn't have to pee or anything, but I
Got a few stitches there, right there.
when I first peeked at it, in the mirror, I couldn't see down here real low. So I counted like 9, and I was talking with someone in person yesterday, and they looked and they said, no, you got 13 in there because it goes clear down under there. Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I bet you can,
I
John.
can relate. I had 50.
Actually, this-
Bob or Bob Boyer.
John Dye, you should tell some of the guys, they may not know about that story.
Oh, I can tell it if you'd like to hear it.
Well, you bet. That's part of who you
Tell
are.
it even if we don't,
Okay.
so
Hey,
some of us
John.
remember.
John, can you take my picture down, please?
Okay, before
Please.
John tells his story,
Yeah.
the good news is, you remember, we all know Bob Webb, also our colleague, Trump,
Yeah.
soprano player, who also had cancer, and more significant damage than what happened with Ray. So Ray, I'm very pleased for you and happy.
Yeah, it was, they caught it and they got it all. One of the stipulations when you have to get training for that Mohs procedure, but they have to have a lab in house. So I just went out in the waiting room and bandaged up and everything, and no, I wasn't bandaged at that point. But then, they take it and freeze it, and then they take these little bitty slices of it to see what kind of activity is going on. Kind of fascinating, but yeah, it was uncomfortable, but there was really no pain. I mean, because they shot the lidocaine in a lot around there. And I told them that she was telling me she's a young gal, she owns the place, but she said, well, you got a lot of nerves down in that part of your face, down and around the jaw and everything, and says, well, be careful, when we go in around there and everything. And I said, okay, note to self for you, I'm still a performing trombone player. And she said, oh, okay, I'll be extra careful, because I said, if you nick it, I don't get to play the horn anymore, which would sadden me greatly. And but she did a great job. I just keep Vaseline on it as they recommended. I usually, whatever. I feel it if it's getting a little dry, well, I just slather some more on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting her done. But
Well, John Dye, you had quite a story. I don't know how many of the guys actually know what went through, but a few of us.
Yeah.
But what's the short version? Tell us what happened.
Let's see, 1971 Christmas, I had a leave planned for going back to Michigan. And just before I left, I spent Christmas with Cindy and her family and proposed to her. And so I was newly engaged. I drove on home in my Volkswagen, and she flew a few days later. I picked her up on a Friday night at Detroit Airport and took her home with me. She'd never met my family. And so Saturday morning we get up and she's meeting a lot of my family for the first time. My brother shows up, pulls up and says, well, it'll be a little while before Cindy's ready to go. Can you help me run my in-laws snowmobile into town from about a farm about 1.5 miles out of town? And I said, sure. So we jumped in the car, went out to the farm and fired it up. And I jumped on the snowmobile and I was going along the road in and out of fields and ditches. And my brother was following along in his car. And I came to this one fence row that I didn't see any. I thought the fence was down and I was following a snowmobile track. So I thought, well, I'll jump this fence line. Well, it wasn't a barbed wire fence. It was actually an old hog fence, which if you guys know, it's verticals and horizontal wires all woven together about 6 inches apart. And the top wire was still up. It was quite rusty, luckily. And when I hit it, the wire clipped the windshield and then dropped down and caught me in the nose and then down into my mouth. By that time, it had stretched enough that it broke off about 2 or 3 feet to the left of my head and strung through. And as each one of those knots came along, it'd knock out a tooth or two on this side and rip out some more on this side. And so I shoved myself off the machine and my brother came and picked me up within minutes, threw me in his car and hauled ass to the doctor's office 1.5 miles into town. And we were there in a minute or two. The doctor closed his office and spent 3 hours sewing me up and setting my nose. I think 100 stitches, 50 inside and 50 outside, from a little bit on this side and then some back to about here. And I had thought at the time, I said, well, you know, number one, my music career is over. Yeah. And number two, my Cindy probably won't want to marry me now. And I was wrong about both. I ended up staying there for an extra 10 days. I think one of the worst parts was right after he sewed me up, I had to go to the next town to an emergency dentist to get all my teeth capped. Yeah, they were all splintered and stuff. And so the dentist had to work with my mouth sewn up right here to here. He had to work inside there to get all the teeth fixed up. That was pretty bad. Wow. So I spent an extra 10 days there, and then Cindy and I drove on home, and I continued with the Corps, and I was luckily a small town doctor and all that sewing up, and I was back to playing my horn in a month.
Wow, that's incredible, John.
Amazing that he got all these nerves hooked up.
Oh yeah,
in the veins and everything.
Yeah.
And so needless to say that month, I had a lot of different names like Smiley, and they were singing Don't Fence Me In, and I forget a few other ones that
Toothless Fairy maybe, or
yeah. But anyway, that's my story. And
well, John, you grew your beard as soon as you got out, didn't you?
oh yeah, I've had this beard. I haven't shaved it off since I grew it out right after I got out. Yeah.
Well, it's a very attractive beard, let me tell you.
You know, John, I was there I was there at the academy when it happened, and I do remember. And I think what sticks in my brain is my thought that was, I was just so glad, I mean, on a personal level, just so glad to have you back alive. And still am.
It was a good feeling to come back and get that response from all of you guys. It really made me feel good. If that wire had not glanced off of the windshield and maybe had not stopped, it could have easily got me in the neck, and I'd have ended it right there in the cornfield. But,
Delighted to have the conversation tonight. Thank you.
well, thank you.
Yes, and tell Cindy we're really glad that she stayed with you through the engagement.
Okay.
Oh, John Crowder, don't spoil it.
And I did hear the comments last month's meeting. I wasn't on the meeting, but I did hear how you thought she was pretty hot, and I certainly agree with you. And she still is.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm a very lucky person. So.
Well, that's true.
I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry. I have a meeting to go.
All right. All right. Well, we've got something here about Doug, and so we'll put it on the recording so he'll see, and we could get a good laugh, even though he's okay. Can you guys see the Joe Arioso thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I just brought this on because a lot of us knew Joe. In fact, remember when he was counting down to his when he was gonna get out? Remember that, day by day, and then he I'll never forget that. he was counting down. How many days you got, Joe? 33. Okay, great. And then he re-upped. It was great. But here's Joe on Facebook. I pulled this off of Facebook, and here's Smitty. And on Facebook here, he was teaching his grandson how to start playing the drums. So if you got Facebook and you want to go see, go look on Kathy and Mike Smith, and you can see our Smitty teaching his grandson. There's a video there. Okay.
Looks to me like he's teaching to play piano. Oh, there's Al.
And there's Al. I found this picture of Al, and he looks pretty young, even at the point where he's got all those stripes. I was pretty impressed. I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Yeah.
And here's a recommendation for you if you want to see some interesting stories. Is go to the Facebook page called the Museum of Drum and Bugle Corps History. There's a lot of interesting stories. This one's about a young kid who was, I guess he was a drumming prodigy that they featured on a major news broadcast and so forth. In the Blue Devils. I don't think we had anybody from the Blue Devils, did we, in our corps?
No.
Nope.
I don't think they existed when we were in.
Oh, really?
Actually, they did.
Oh, okay.
Because they began as a drum and bell corps in the late 50s.
Or were they participating when we were out there in Santa Clara? Where did we go?
Stockton.
No,
Stockton.
no, the Blue Devils were drum and bell corps up until the end of 1969, and they wanted to go to a bugle corps, and they contacted Jim Ott, who was my best friend here in Stockton.
Yeah.
We were with the Commodores.
Right.
So me and Jim Ott, we were the first bugle instructors of the Blue Devils in the 1970 years, and by 1971 they won Class B, and then the rest is history. So I can put that on my in my bio that I used to be an instructor of about 3 baritones of the Blue Devils. Hey, I taught the Blue Devils when so I could say I knew you when.
Hey, Ray, a follow on to that, I believe, actually I know, even though you and I had met and didn't realize it at the time, that it was actually the Santa Clara Vanguard that was at the early shows that we were at.
Yeah.
Was that the Anaheim show where we went to Disneyland also? Didn't we see the Blue Devils then?
No, that was not the Anaheim show. Was the Kingsman 1967 show?
No, this was in 70 something.
No, I think we just marched a parade, didn't we? Didn't we just march for a Disney parade?
No, we played a show there that, we
Yeah.
played a show someplace.
Yeah,
Oh,
we sure did.
We did perform at the Kings and Home show. And I want to say it was 70 or something like that. 70 or
yeah, that's
70.
about right.
Yeah, 70,
And,
71. Yeah.
But what I'm talking about was when we went out to Stockton and we performed at University Pacific. It wasn't the Blue Devils that we were actually helping out. It was Santa Clara Vanguard at that time.
Yeah, that was 1969.
Yeah.
The second time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get confused on those, which is which, yeah.
But for you guys on social media and stuff, this is a pretty interesting site. Here's one that I found. It says it's the Museum of Drum and Bugle Corps History again, but this was one that Doug Lent said that he marched in this in '67 with the Cavaliers. He made a comment on there. So you can get some interesting, oh, there it is right there. He said, I was in this show. When you see the drum solos, I'm the fourth small drummer from the right. So
He used to be small.
yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but so I wanted to ask you guys about this because on this same site, I watched this DCI final appearance by the drum corps, the bridge.
Looks
Yeah.
like the Bridgman.
Yeah,
Has to be with the raincoats.
yeah. Well, I wondered, were the Bridgemen, were they some kind of bad boys and rebels and stuff?
They were just setting trends, loosening up the thing. They were pretty damn good.
In this performance, they were really great, but they did, really kind of some pretty, I guess back at that time, it was pretty loosey-goosey kind of stuff they were doing with their performance and stuff, but they were good. They
I
were.
always thought their uniforms looked like pressed cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of uniforms, I
Oh,
found this on the Museum of Drum and Bugle Corps History. I thought some of you guys might relate to some of this artwork here. I don't know, any of these corps look familiar to any of you guys that you were involved with?
Yes, St. Gibbons, Our Lady of Lords.
Oh, okay.
I see Garfield out the bottom.
Yeah, Garfield and Blessed Sack. I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
If Smitty were on tonight, he'd tell you about St. Kevin's.
Yeah, some guy did a nice job, a guy or a gal, of artwork and showing the history, of those. And then I wanted to show you this because I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but
Works for me.
yeah.
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very sad end to a brass instrument right there. I don't know.
Well,
Probably the best usage.
And look what they got up here on the wall too. They got some music.
Good.
well, if they were trumpets, it'd be a pretty dirty bathroom.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking about that, I wanted you guys to. I saw this on the social media where they talked about the Marine Corps. They got 3-valve G bugles just recently, and I wanted to ask you guys because I in my mind I don't understand what's the difference between a 3-valve bugle and a B-flat trumpet or cornet or anything like that. What's the difference?
We use a different key.
And the other's in G.
Yeah.
Oh, so bugles are in the key of G. Is that because there's a different sound and arrangement
Well,
can be different?
Yeah, the G bugles are still, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, it's that they use a lot of B-flat trumpets and B-flat instruments, and it's just not the same. It doesn't have the resonance, the spreading sound, just not the same.
Right.
Okay.
They don't.
Hey,
like a
Roy,
G.
Roy Paris.
Yeah,
Could you take 30 seconds and talk about this? Because as a percussionist, I mean, intellectually, I know that there's a difference in the bore size and diameters, and things like
yeah,
that.
that's basically the projection in the bore. And just because it has a touch less tubing, maybe it takes a little bit less air, so the air that you do have is being pushed out further into the stands. But technically, I run a G Bugle for sale site, and these guys, there's some guys, they get so technical on it, like engineering, but like Tom says, and we all know the sound is just tremendous. But when they went to 3-valve, the 3-valve G is not fingered the same as a 3-valve B flat. So you could take a high school kid and give them a B flat and do say it's a bugle and play the bugle charts. But when it goes to G, it has to change. I don't know. It's just it's a funny animal,
Well, it is. When I was getting short, getting ready to get out, I was going back, got an early out to go back and finish my undergraduate music degree. And so I got my trombone out, and I almost cried. I got it out in the day room and was trying to play it, and I would look at the note and I couldn't hit it.
Couldn't hear
Because
it.
the trombone's in B flat,
You couldn't hear it. I had the same problem, Ray.
Yeah,
Going from bugle to trombone.
yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
almost cried. I said, "Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to graduate if I keep playing like this." It's just it messed with my ear, my whatever, all that eustachian tube stuff.
Well, on these old bugles, and what was it? We had a valve and a rotor on ours, right?
Right.
So what one? Here's another one. So what was that? That was a F sharp or something?
Those are G telephones. That one is a
GF.
telephone.
GF.
GF. And basically it's just that you can hit there's a note called like what is it? A flat, I guess. We couldn't hit it on the bottom.
Right.
We had a lip certain
There's a couple
notes.
of notes you couldn't hit unless
Now you look at that mellophone way to the left, and the little tube that's right in the middle, the center,
right there,
the little tube that's in that tube right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that tube on the GDs used to go all the way to the back, almost to the mouthpiece, and all the way to the bottom. And they cut it down to that little piece, like 3-4 inches. And that's when Keith Markey in the 67, 68 was experimenting. I don't know how they figured it out, but they would saw that off and solder that little edge, and then we could get certain notes.
Right.
And that's what started the whole the harmonic, I think, in bugles and the charts and the harmonics changed from that day, that when Keith there's two guys that probably did it, Keith, Ken Norman, and I think there's one other guy still in my mind, but somehow those three, their minds were whizzing away at the changing the bugle, and here we are complaining about how they changed the bugle now between 30 years ago. Well, we did the same thing in 1967 from the World War I bugles.
Yeah.
So
Ray, weren't our bugles GD?
Yeah, they were a GD.
Before they were.
Starting in 67, 68, the GF started.
Yeah, I was thinking GF.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we had, this is what we had, was a valve and a rotor.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that education because when I saw this, I was like, well, wait a minute. Why don't they just use, trumpets? Because, it looks like but you guys provide some good instruction on that. I appreciate it.
To my ear, the trumpets they use now, and I've even seen slide trombones out there and everything else, but the trumpets sound, to my ear, just much more tinny. It's more of a, I mean, there's some fantastic musicians that play them, I know, but I think the horn itself is just, I don't know. Maybe I got spoiled in those years with that G bugle, but
There is a difference in sound. The drum corps that I marched with, the Lancers, they use 3-valve horns, but they're all G horns and they're all bugles.
Oh, really?
They're not B flat instruments. No.
See, I didn't even know they made.
There's still a few of us out there that use the G horns. Period.
Okay.
I have a 3-valve G mellophone.
Huh.
Really?
After we had that reunion back in York, Pennsylvania, where all got together, I think it was I can't remember what, 2012 maybe before 2008. And I was so impressed, I wanted to get back into it. So I had a G mellophone built for me.
Wow.
Richard, is that a real sunset behind you?
I took that picture a long time ago. We're getting ready to leave. We're in Arizona right now, but that's a real sunset from our.
Didn't know if you were sitting in your backyard right now or what.
Looks like that.
Is that Sonoma? Is that around Sonoma, Dick?
No, that's right in here in Mesa where I am.
Oh, Mesa. Okay.
Yeah, we took it out the side, looking down our street.
So guys, Bob shared these. This is how Bob really spends his winters. And there he is this winter. I don't know. Did you get a chance to drive any of those, Bob? Or
yeah, this Daytona, they have the race on the beach that goes back, I don't know, 60, 70 years. And they had brought back a whole bunch of the old racing cars. So I just wandered down there to check them out.
Very cool.
Bob, don't give up your career as a male model, okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's Bob said that's a manatee, right?
Manatee, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of them, he said, right there.
You need to upgrade your Amazon Music Unlimited subscription.
And there's his good wife.
Songs on all of your devices.
The snow shoveler. Okay.
Terms in the Alexa.
She's not scraping snow.
Should I upgrade you? Music by Bob Seger.
Oh,
Somebody's got some background stuff going on.
Alexa, off. I don't know what happened. It came on.
Some Amazon commercial or something. I don't know.
Here's a picture of Paul, and then John. He said you got, before everybody else got on, you got your bugle, or is it a trumpet? What'd you get?
No, trumpet, a B flat trumpet.
From Paul.
Yeah, it was a high school horn. He'd helped some school, I believe, get some horns together.
Yeah.
Had one or two extra, I believe, and it gave me one. Very nice.
Well, I was hoping to have Paul on, but I don't know how many of you guys caught his taps that he did. He had a recording of it. Couldn't find it, but at the end, I don't know if you guys noticed or if he's ever done it before, but at the end, he played the first couple of bars after he did taps, and then he went dun da 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 da. So something like that.
Nice touch. I might have to try that.
That was at White.
Is that flying machines?
Yeah.
It was very tactfully done by Paul. It was very nice. Let's see, what else? In case any of you guys missed it, Roy shared this in the past. There's a link for it, but you can Google it and find it in the Congressional Record. This is about our Congressional Record has this Drum and Bugle Corps, the Academy Drum and Bugle Corps, and recognized us in a very nice way. So there's a link in Congress.gov, and if you go to Congressional Record, it's here. You'll see it on the recording when that comes out if you want to go check it out. Or you can go to the Keith Markey Memorial page on Facebook and check it out there. Okay? And I thought you guys might want to check that out. If you need any help doing Facebook or something like that, give me a call, or any of us, we could help you figure out some of these ways to use some of these. There are a lot of good resources out there. I wanted to ask any of you guys, do you know who this is?
Looks familiar. I can't put a name on him.
Any of you guys remember Don Sonny?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow. He's too cleaned up in this. No wonder.
There he is, right there.
He's lost 200 pounds.
That looks more like him there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Don posted this too. Or no, there's another one he posted, but this was funny. This is a picture for you drummers. It says, I spent 6 years on marching timpani and aged out last year when I turned 21. All you people can go straight to hell.
That's good.
Cool. So there you go. Marching with timpanis. That'll do it to you. And here's one for Doug. At least he could see it on the recording. He said, it said, education is important, but playing drums is importanter.
Yeah.
And I guess he plays in the Mount Prospect Community Band. There
Looks
it
like
is.
he's trying to whack a timpani.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wishing he could be here tonight to see it. And here's one John shared. Tell us about that, John, your son.
Oh, AJ and his wife Jody and daughters Quinn on the right and Charlotte on the left. They live up on the west side of Denver in a community called Solterra, and they were chosen to be on the cover of the neighborhood magazine with a little article about them. And I just thought it was a really great picture of him and proud of him, and thought I'd stick it on Facebook. So
well, he's
absolutely
got your same hairstylist too. Look at
that. Yeah. Pretty close, huh?
Hey, he didn't get those good looks from you, I can tell you that. But.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Like father, like son, John.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And here's an old picture I found. Bill Smith posted it. It's really blurry, but I don't know if you guys had seen this one, because that's Jack Mouse right there.
Oh.
And that's Smitty.
Yeah.
And that looks like Ben. Right?
Yep.
Or Tyler, one of the two is.
I think that's Ben.
Okay.
I think that might be a little too early for Ben. Maybe he came in about the time I did.
Well, this picture was taken. This is one of my pictures. One of the parents of the Commodores took
What
it.
year?
1969, Santa Clara.
Yeah, I don't think he was there. I don't think he was there. It's got to be somebody else.
Is that you,
John
Tom?
or Dave Hughes right there behind the bass drum?
Is that you, Tom?
You know, I'm not sure from looking at the picture of it. I was one of the two, but who's the player right here?
Where?
Do I see Zimney over
Right
Smitty's shoulder? Yeah. Doesn't that
Nope,
look like
like Zimney. I don't know who's on the cymbals.
I
Mike.
Oh,
was it?
yeah.
Jay Edwards?
No, that was a guy that he was there politically.
Hmm.
His family had some pull and got him. Weber was his name.
Dick Weber?
Weber, yeah.
Yeah, Weber left sometime in mid-69.
I didn't know him. Yeah.
I wish it was a better picture, but that's the one we got. And then this is something that Pat Bob's wife, posted. It was kind of interesting about the history, the story of taps. And if this guy originally posted it and she shared it, but it's kind of an interesting story. I don't know if it's factual. I guess we could have Twitter or Facebook fact check it. But at any rate, it's kind of interesting. So if you've got access to your Facebook, you can go find it and take a look or Google it and say, what's the story of taps? It's kind of interesting. John Dye, you would enjoy that since.
Oh, and I've found some other articles and I've been studying up on
Good.
taps and everything. Yeah, I'm trying to learn what I can about it.
Well,
So
good for you.
yeah.
Are you gonna wear some kind of uniform once you do start doing for funerals or something?
You know, I haven't gotten that far, but I do want to find out what's the proper thing to wear, and certainly I'll try to find something.
I know.
I know damn well it won't be the one I wore.
Well, join the crowd. Hey, this some pictures I found. Somebody posted about Truman Crawford. I thought I'd share them with you guys. He had at his graveside services, the entire Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps showed up for him. I thought that was pretty cool, and wanted to share that with you. Oh, here's something that.
Hey, John, excuse me if I interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Bob Zarfoss, are you still on?
Yep. Yeah.
Could you take 30 seconds and maybe talk about True Crawford and the ceremony there at Arlington?
Yeah. Pat and I and several of the Air Force guys were there. We were with Truman through the last year of his life when he had ALS, and went to the hospital with him for treatment, and were eventually invited down to Arlington and went to the cemetery. And the service was amazing because they put the body on a catafalque. It was not unlike Kennedy's funeral, and then as you said, the drum corps was there, and it was a very stirring and wonderful moment. And somewhere I have probably 50 pictures from that event, Tom. But Truman was not well. I think when he was discharged, he was already dealing with ALS, and maybe either didn't know it or wasn't admitting it. But he had 47 years of active duty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he had to get a special dispensation from Congress to continue, because once he had passed the number of years, he should have been discharged.
Yeah.
But an amazing man, and sad to see that. Sad to see that.
I'll have to say,
see if I can find some pictures maybe that
yeah,
I could share.
Yeah. This Corps is so impressive when you see them in their uniforms and hear them in their performance. It's amazing with what they deliver. It really is.
Those uniforms are second to none.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, and all the Marine uniforms are. They always, yeah.
They all look like these slim, trim warriors, and they look fantastic and in shape and everything, and yet they're pretty darn good musicians now too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one. Don Sonny posted this.
Can I add something to while you're speaking of Truman Crawford?
Yeah.
I just want to add something quick. Going through my Commodore archives, I received everything of materials, letters, correspondence from all the directors and from their family estates. And one of them was, I have a letter from Truman Crawford from the Department of the Navy, written to the Commodores, that Truman Crawford sends this album of the Marine Drum Bugle Corps, special 1976 edition. I don't know who published it, Fleetwood or whatever. The drawings are by Don Dapper, used to do drum corps. But in the letter, really interesting. He writes about how he heard our corps performing and playing, and he appreciated the talent. And he was inviting the members when they aged out to personally contact him to see if they would be interested in joining the Marine Drum Bugle Corps. So, yeah, I have a little piece
Wow.
of history right here.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, you know, and he said how he was judging the shows. And so I'm sure he probably wrote this to a lot of the great corps out there that he was judging, because I do have his cassettes where he judged our corps at Kentucky, the Bluegrass in '73. But I'm really honored to have this in my collection. It's digitized, and I'll have to share it on maybe I'll share it on the Keith Markey page. You know, my page, I don't get a lot of drum corps people on there, but yeah, God bless Twin Crawford and the guys that played underneath him here. He touched a lot of lives. Even like I say, I never met him and never knew him, but his music was important to a lot of us. Thanks.
Can I also add something?
You bet.
There is his retirement ceremony at the Marine Barracks that's online.
Server on campus.
If any of you want to see that, just look it up.
So
Drew Crawford retirement ceremonies at the Marine Barracks.
Open. Or
Can we just search out on YouTube to find that, Paul?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, but I found it originally on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
use them there.
Okay, very good. Thanks. We'll have to check that out. Speaking of, Facebook pages, Don Sonny posted this, and I thought it might fit for a lot of you guys. In fact, Doug looks like he's already familiar with it. It's called the Midwest Drum Corps Group. So it's 1940s through the 1980s.
Yeah, I'm a member of that. Because being in Great Bend there for a while, and Argonne, and going, to a lot of the Tournament of Champions they had there for years. Dad was judging, and so I got to see a lot of these.
We'll find room for you to sit down.
What?
I think somebody's talking. Just mute yourself.
Joe Credian, mute yourself.
Thursday and Friday. Those labs.
Okay. So I wanted to also point this out to you because our good friend Ray Foster emails out a lot of, sometimes he'll send out some beautiful YouTube, music, classical or Tony Dorsey, all kinds of different, brass ensembles and stuff. And I found this Facebook page. It's called Coloring the Past. And the reason you might want to check it out is because they have posted here a lot of the classic music we grew up listening to, not drum corps, but just rock and roll and all that kind of music. They have the original videos and things like this from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. It's really kind of fun. And so it might be a site you'd want to just kind of go to and check out, some of the old things we used to listen to in high school and college and stuff like that. So just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Again, it's called Coloring with a U, Coloring the Past. You can search on Facebook and find it. And then lastly, I just thought this was a great, I guess, overview for conductors. It says the conductor just waves the stick until the music stops and then turns around and bows. So
That reminded me of when Herman Vincent was the commander.
yeah,
And we were doing a concert up in Denver with the band, and we were playing Cadets on Parade, both the band and the corps together.
yeah,
And you know, Vincent had a little habit of tippling a little bit.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And anyway, he's conducting. He turns to, I forget, I think it was the first clarinet, and he says, "When's this damn thing over?" And the guy says, "We're holding on to the last note."
But yeah, yeah,
we should have put this picture there when we talked about our conductor Bankhead, James Bankhead. Okay, our next meeting date is when? Do you guys want to set it for?
May 25th.
The 25th, okay?
yeah.
Wednesday, the last Wednesday of May. And then I have a question for you. Anyone want to volunteer to share some of their, history, their post-academy life with us? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller?
Well, I already did that.
I know.
A little snippet, a long snippet, I guess.
I
you'd
know.
say.
Anybody want it? Bueller? Anybody?
Hey, John, I won't do it for May, but I'll volunteer to do it for June because my work schedule is jammed right now. But I'll be glad to do it for June.
Okay.
Not that anybody will care.
That's okay. I mean, we just, we like to find out about your families and, careers and all kinds of stuff. So I'll put you down for June and then we'll figure out something for May. All right. So
Hey, before we go, can I just tell Ray Foster that the Corps, the Air Force Drum Corps, played in Turkey in 1957, and so we were in Ankara and also Istanbul.
Yeah, Istanbul's great. I really liked it. We were on the Europe side, which,
Right.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that, seeing all those many ships, oil barges coming down the Bosphorus there. We stayed down in the historic district, pretty close to the Bosphorus. Yeah, it was very cool. I love the food too. The cuisine is very good.
hey, Bob, did you ever play at Ramstein Air Force Base?
Oh yeah, every year, 4 years I was over there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know Ray Heltler?
No.
He was a drummer with us, and
Yeah. He went over there. I remember him
after
Yeah, Ray wouldn't have been in with the same time as Bob though at all.
No, I know. But he went over there, and after he left the Corps, I found out he stayed in music and was part of Ramstein, the band over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then didn't he retire to be a tour boat captain in Portsmouth, New Hampshire?
Did he? I don't know.
I thought that's what I heard. Yeah.
The answer is yes, he is a captain. His son who passed away not too terribly long ago was also a master or a captain on the vessel.
Yes, he shared that with us on email about his son. Yeah, I remember that. All right, guys. Well, we're still recording. So does anybody have anything they want to leave as a last whatever?
Yes, I do.
Encore and encore.
The Air Force Academy Band's going to be performing at the Pikes Peak Center along with the Fort Carson Band. And for anybody in the Colorado Springs area, those tickets are free and available at the Pikes Peak Center starting Saturday.
Okay, thank you. Might do it.
Very cool. Hey, John Dye, do you ever see Bill Carlson? Can we get him on?
I haven't been able to find his number. I'm still trying, and I was actually going to stop by his house someday. I haven't gotten a hold of him yet, but I certainly will try. Yeah,
If you see him, talk to him, let him know.
I
We'd
certainly
really
will.
like to have him here.
I certainly will. You know, and I was just thinking I could do some kind of a presentation on the Colorado Springs Air Force Academy area, but there's nothing here that you guys would recognize anymore.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Yeah.
The place has changed so much that I don't know what I could tell you that's even here to see anymore. Even the chapels covered up. They built a sarcophagus around it to restore it. And I think I don't think it's going to be done for another 5 to 7 years, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Fix that dang leak in the roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you guys, I've been in contact. I think in the last couple of weeks, I've talked with John Simpson several times, and kind of bring each other up to date on some stuff. And yeah, I'm hoping to get up there in that Kansas City area in October, be able to bop over to Overland Park and spend some time with him.
Ray.
So Ray, why don't you ask John if maybe he wouldn't like to, it's not like the invitation hasn't gone out. I know he's a very private guy, but it would really be great to have him on board one of these at some point.
I know. Every time I talk with him, I always throw that in there, you know. And he sends me some CDs. He's talking about a tuba player that was just ungodly. I've got to get a thumb drive and go down to the library. I don't have a CD player in my house, so go down to the library and put it on a thumb drive. But he was raving about that.
You know, that CD he did for Aaron is just amazing. I mean, truly amazing.
Yeah. Did that, what, Rhapsody in Blue?
Oh, Lord God, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Ray.
Maybe he'd let you play that on here or something. I don't know.
Well,
He won't show up.
Yeah. I will ask him about that. Because I think there's a way to do that. Even if he would just email it to me with a link, then I could maybe send it to John or Tom or somebody that can put it on here.
I have the file.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the file, not the original file, but one of them. I shared it with a bunch of people. They can't believe it. You're right.
Oh, yeah. And that was just a cool thing. Somebody said, hey, you know, come in and play this. And he just got up from the kitchen table and went in and just played it.
Hey, Roy, if you have the file, why don't you send it to Tom and we could email it out, or send it to me, because it would be hard to listen to over this Zoom meeting. But if we have a link, we could share it with everybody, you know?
Well, and he's also, Roy, I don't know if you've seen those. He did a series of single tunes, songs for Aaron, for his daughter. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, he's just a cool player. That's all there is to it. I think he's older than me, though. I know he's older than me. We kidded the other day. He said, I'm only 49. I said, yeah, right.
We had a little jam session one year, a few years ago, and he flew into town just to play with us for a few, you know, that one practice. Flew all the way from Kansas just to, we practiced in a parking lot, and they put me, you know, I was first baritone. I was so embarrassed to play next to him. You know, I wanted to hear him listen. He said, just calm down and I'll just, and I'm the section leader. I'm trying to tell him how to play a part, you know, and I was like, I can't, you know, this guy, he blew us away.
Yeah.
He captivated us.
He's an amazing guy. There's that
there's
Yeah,
a,
I wish you can get him on to this Zoom here.
I
It'll
know.
be interesting.
I mention it all the time, but he, I think he told me, well, I just talked with him 3 days ago. I think he said he's actually 84 or something like that, and maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. But he also had a letter that that somebody wrote. It was published somewhere. One of his students, talking about how much he affected his whole life, and from a 10-year-old in a drum corps all the way through. It's pretty moving. I'll ask him if he'll send that to me. If you don't have it, you just have recordings of tunes.
No, I just got that Rhapsody in Blue.
Okay. All right.
I-
Yeah, I'll see if I can.
I have the CD, but I'm not going to get anything done the next 3 weeks.
Hey, John Dye, you had a question or a comment?
Oh, I was just gonna reach out to Ray. Ray, if you're ever in the Colorado area, the Colorado Springs area, please look me up.
Yeah, I will. You still living up Black Forest there?
No, I live pretty much straight across from the academy.
Yeah.
I guess that's Black Forest.
Yeah, it's the south, whatever. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
please
interesting
do.
thing here, guys. I didn't know it at the time, but we got together one time. We were gonna exchange some stuff, and I was gonna come to Springs, which I never did. But found out that John, I don't know, was it immediately after you got out? You went to work for Gary Schnurr and that rock.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't immediate. It was 78. I started for Pioneer Sand. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he's from Garden City, and
I knew that.
He was a class behind me in Garden.
And you knew him? You knew him quite well, or?
Oh yeah.
His brother Steve. His younger brother Steve. They both came to town. I think Gary in about 66 or 68, and started his landscape supply company, and became a multi-millionaire. And Steve did the same thing, broke out on his own and had one of the biggest paving companies in town, and just recently sold it to Martin Marietta, and he's filthy rich and still lives in someplace.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a real, that's really horrible what Gary did to Janet. Diane.
I don't know anything about that. Judy is the only wife I knew he had.
Okay.
His new wife.
I couldn't remember. Oh, the new one. Oh, yeah. Well, the other one was from Garden in the same class. I can't remember her name for sure, but she stuck with him for a long time, and then he just kicked her to the side. And she was a lovely girl.
Yeah.
But that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Well,
hey guys, I gotta go take a nap.
Yes, it's your bedtime, Ray. So
TikTok, man, it's almost 9 here.
Thanks for everybody coming.
John, thanks for running things again tonight, and Tom, and hope to see y'all again. What, next month?
May.
Hey, it's always great seeing you guys. It's great therapy for me.
John, I know you didn't say much, but it's good to have you with us, buddy.
Yeah.
Bob Z, drive safe. Give Pat a hug.
Thanks,
Roy
Tom.
Perez, I'll be in touch shortly about Facebook.
Okay.
All right, guys, signing out.
Sayonara.
See y'all.
See you next month. Bye-bye.
Okay.